Hello, my name is Marisa Ferrera, and I'm a women's empowerment coach and mentor, and a connection practice certified coach and trainer. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today is a channeled message from my book called Magnify Your Magnificence, Your Pathway to the Life and Relationships You Truly Desire. And this message is the 9th message in the book, and it's called Releasing Past Wounds. Now, most of us are walking around with some past wounds that we've been carrying around sometimes since childhood. And so this is a really powerful message that can really help us to better understand what's really going on with our wounds. And even better than that, it includes a 5-step process that can help us to heal the wound, release it, and just really move through it with more ease and grace. Now, the amount of time that it would take to go through the actual 5 steps will vary depending on the intensity of the emotion and the pain that you want to work through. So for today, I'm going to be reading through the different steps as they were channeled to me. And I invite you to make note, just some jot notes of any thoughts or feelings that come up for you as I go through the steps. And then I would invite you to come back and set aside maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, again, depending on the intensity of the wound that you want to heal, and give yourself the time that you really need to move through each step with whatever time you want, and you can pause the video when you come back and give yourself that time. So let me start with sharing the message, and I think you're going to find it as powerful as I did. So I want you to remember a time when you felt sad, hurt, or disappointed. When you think or talk about this experience, how do you feel? Do you feel what you felt at the time it actually happened? Or are you able to think and talk about it as simply a memory, with no upsetting feelings attached to it? You see, the past is over, and yet for many of you, you continue to unconsciously relive it over and over again and wonder why your life does not change or does not work. You are who you are today, not because of the actual events that happened in your past, but because of the meaning you attached to those events. How you experience and see yourself today is not the real you. It is the you that emerged from your experiences here on Earth. The real you somehow got locked up inside. Your experiences, no matter what they were, served a purpose. Each experience taught you something, and depending on how you choose to look at it, it either taught you something that can serve you and others, or it will cause you to hurt yourself and others. If, for example, you interpret an experience as meaning you are not good enough, smart enough, attractive enough, and so on, do you believe those thoughts and interpretations will serve you or hurt you? Do these thoughts empower you or bring you down? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? And yet, chances are your interpretation of past events leads you to feeling small, less than, incapable of fulfilling your dreams, and unable to achieve what you desire. There is another way to look at your experiences, to view them from your higher self rather than your lower self. A way to use every experience from your past as an opportunity to see the truth and to reveal your true essence. This, for some of you, may be difficult. If you are willing to shift into a new way of thinking about your past, you will create a new way of living from this moment forward, a way that will be a true reflection of who you are and what you are truly capable of creating. You will need to be patient with yourself as you work through painful memories from the past. You will need to be gentle with yourself. There may be memories that you have chosen not to look at for a very long time. What you may not realize is that just because you buried them, this does not mean they are not there. This does not mean they are not impacting your life in ways that you are not conscious of. By shining the light on what you have buried within you, the truth will be revealed, and you can let go of all that is holding you back from experiencing a full and joyous life. This really is possible no matter what your life looks like today. Once again, all that is needed to get started is your willingness to look at the truth of the past and not what you made up about it. This is not to say that you have been intentionally lying about your past experiences. What you experienced was real. It is the thoughts and beliefs you attach to them, the interpretations of them, the judgments about them that you made up. And depending on what you made up about all of this, your experiences are either supporting you in your life or helping you live your life from your true self, or they are limiting you and hiding who you are. Today, you are being asked to take some time to work through one painful past memory so that you can release it and let it go. Of course, you may choose to work through as many memories as you like. What is important is that you go through each of the following steps completely with one memory before moving on to the next. We recommend that you begin with a memory that is less emotionally charged, and as you become more familiar with the exercise and how it works, choose more painful memories. It would be helpful for you to come back to this exercise as often as possible until you feel your past experiences are no longer holding you back. You can then go through these steps anytime a new experience brings up feelings of upset, sadness, anger, etc., so that you no longer bury painful experiences but deal with them in a way that sets you free. The more honest you can be as you work through this exercise, the more liberating it will be for you. Keep in mind that this exercise is not intended to bring up emotions so that you can get stuck in them. In fact, do your best to step outside of yourself and look back as an observer, as if you are interviewing someone else and asking them these questions. It is not necessary for you to relive these memories in order to heal from them or let them go. What is important is to see what is there, to shed light on what is there, so that these memories no longer hold you back or limit you from being who you are, your true, authentic self. So I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps at this time. And if you have a journal next to you, I really encourage you to jot down anything that comes up for you so that later on, as I mentioned, you can come back and work through it and go in much more depth. The deeper you go and the more time that you take to really work through each of these steps, the more freedom you're going to experience and the easier it will be to release whatever wound it is that's been holding you back. So step 1 is called What Actually Happened. Write down your memory in as much detail as possible. How old were you? Who else was present? What time of year was it? Where did it take place? What actually happened? What emotions did you experience when it happened? Fear, anger, hurt, or disappointment? It could be something else. The second step is what you made it mean. What were you thinking when it happened? Include any thoughts you had about yourself or any other people involved. For example, were you thinking you were bad, stupid, ugly? Were you thinking the other person was being mean or they didn't love you? Dig deep and allow all your thoughts about this experience to emerge. When you talk about this incident and share it with others, what feelings come up for you? Do you find yourself getting angry, sad? What thoughts do you have about it today? Do you have the same thoughts and feelings as you did in the past? Or are they different? Again, include thoughts and feelings about yourself and others. What did you make this experience mean about you and or others? Step 3 is the impact on your life. How do you think or feel this experience has impacted your life? What circumstances in your life do you tend to blame on this past experience? Do you blame your past for your current financial situation? Do you believe this past experience is the reason or one of the reasons why you struggle with relationships? Where do you find yourself blaming your past for your current circumstances? Do you ever say things like, if my parents or teachers or others didn't fill in the blank, or if only my parents, teachers, or others fill in the blank, I would be able to fill in the blank. Be honest about this. No one will ever see this except you unless you choose to share it. The more honest you can be, the more you can free yourself from what is holding you back. Before going to the next step, it is important for you to know that your interpretation of this event and what you made it mean about you and about others is only that. and interpretation. It isn't facts. The facts are the specifics about the event, your age, where it took place, the specific feelings you had about the situation, example, fear, anger, or hurt. Not the feelings or thoughts you had about yourself or others, like telling yourself, I must be ugly, or my father is mean, etc. This is the part of you that you made up. Even if someone told you to your face that you were stupid or ugly, this does not mean that this is who you are. Whatever labels or judgments you gave others who were involved in this event does not mean this is who they are. No matter what happened in the past, we want you to know that everyone, including you, was doing the best they could with the tools they had. You do not know what was going on in the life or lives of others involved. What if you could go back in time and change the impact of this event into something positive and empowering? Well, you can. You have something incredibly powerful called your mind, and you can use your mind to recreate your memories and rewrite the script from your past so that you can be freed from the negative and limiting impact it's had on your life and move forward from a place of peace and joy. The fourth step is called rewriting the script. Every experience you had was or is an opportunity for you to grow. Take another look at the experience you are exploring right now. If you feel that someone did something to you that caused you pain and suffering, are you willing to look at this person in a different way? If so, begin by asking yourself, what did this experience teach me? Look for a positive trait or outcome that resulted from this experience. For example, did this experience help you to develop compassion, patience, determination, persistence? If you can only think of a negative effect, ask yourself, if I were willing to look at this experience with a different perspective, what could I learn from it? Now imagine that the person or people involved were acting from a place of loving you so much that they did whatever they felt they had to do to protect you from getting hurt or from making a mistake that could possibly ruin your life. Or perhaps they were behaving from a place of being stressed and anxious about their own life and projected this onto you. The final step is the most important and often the most difficult, but becomes easier as you've taken the first few steps. And the last step is about forgiveness. So for this step, I invite you to just maybe close your eyes and really reflect on the situation that you have in mind at this moment. And imagine this person or all the people involved are sitting across from you right now. Imagine them telling you how sorry they are for what they did. Imagine them telling you how much they love you and didn't mean to hurt you. Imagine them telling you whatever it is that you need to hear so that you can let go of the pain that you've attached to this memory. See yourself forgiving them and forgiving yourself for allowing this experience to hold you back and stop you from living from a place of full, authentic expression. Allow yourself to be immersed in this positive experience and feel the love all around you. And bathe in this feeling for as long as you wish. I really do hope that you find this exercise helpful. And as I mentioned, I would encourage you to come back and listen to it again when you can really take your time. Maybe even find yourself in a place of nature where you can just sit in quiet solitude and just really reflect. And remember that healing happens in layers. So if you're dealing with a really painful experience from the past that's really had a real hold on you, be gentle and compassionate with yourself as you go through this whole exercise and give yourself the space to know that the healing might not happen all at once, but the more you're willing to reframe the experience and move into that place of forgiveness of self and others, the easier it will be for you to be able to let go. Because as was mentioned in the message, the experiences that we've had can really teach us so much that we can use in ways that can really serve us and serve others. And if we're not willing to look at things from a different perspective, then we tend to hold on to our anger and our upset and our emotions, which causes us a lot of pain and suffering and really impacts our mental and emotional well-being in a negative way. So again, I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. And always remember to magnify your magnificence.